Hello folks, before you make a judgment or turn this off or put your thumbs up or thumbs down on here, I think you need to listen to this very objectively. And this definitely goes out to all you Christians because this has been some uncharted territory and scary place that I have actually cornered you into. So I will put it up there, put this to your question. Now I know the controversial of my thing saying Victoria Soto, the Sandy Hook teacher, is in hell. But we actually don't know what religion she belongs to. And many of you have already made a decision that she already chose your religion without looking at the evidence. So I decided to look up Victoria Soto and find out what this woman was about. And as a religion or a theology or a non-theology, there is nothing to show for it and has shown nothing. A friend of mine who lives close to around Sandy Hook, I asked him to snoop around and ask several people to find out if she actually or knew what her belief system was. Once again, we came up empty-handed, and that's pretty darn close to get. So I'm only stuck with a hypothetical point here, which I propose to all of you Christians out there. If the case that we find out that she is actually an atheist or a Buddhist or a Taoist or so forth, according to your system, God wouldn't accept her to heaven and would actually kick her off to hell. And that's right, she would be burning and torturing forever and ever in the lakes of fire. According to your system, this is how it works. The reason I can back this up, 33 non-denominational Christian churches have adopted what Lutheranism started out, which was one of the first Protestant churches that was the breakoff of the Catholic Church. And all of you have adopted the philosophy, which a lot of you don't realize, that Martin Luther came up with. Not Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther, who started the Lutheran Church. He said, quote, "You do not get up in heaven by good works alone, but only through grace in God alone you will get to heaven." So good works, boop, throw that out, but grace through God only, you'll make it to heaven. So if she was an atheist, let's think about this. If she was, and we find out she was, then through all those good works and that heroic thing that she did, according to your system, she's off to hell burning forever. Which tells me a lot about your system and has always proven my point. If your God really acts this way, then yes, he's worse than Adolf Hitler. It shows how incredibly obtuse your God has set up a system off of an irresponsible and cruel form of thinking. Yes, and you've adopted it, Christians, and you are stuck with it. And I'm holding your feet to the fire. I'm sure you're coming up with all kinds of stuff that you're scrambling in your head going, well, maybe there's an exception to the rule. No, according to your system, there are no exceptions to the rule. And some of you Christians say, well, you know, it's a separation of God. Of course, when I ask many of you what that really means, you really don't give me a straight answer on it, and many of you have a different interpretation on that. Go figure. So I guess my point I'm trying to bring to you, if the case that Miss Victoria Soto was an atheist or a Buddhist or a Taoist or a Hindu or whatever, then according to that, she's burning and torturing in hell or separated or whatever. It's almost like God didn't care about the good works and integrity had no merit out of the deal. Just gullibility. That's how it's set up. You know what I'd like to see is Old Fart and also Cult of Dusty do a takeoff on this. I think they could do an excellent spin about Victoria Soto burning in hell just for not believing or being possibly an atheist. I know you Christians hate hearing the bad news. I feel like the Oracle from The Matrix, but the truth will set you free. If this is how your system is, then yeah, you have to live with it. And if you find out that she is burning in hell, yeah, you have to live with that one too. Yeah, this is the reason why it's flawed, it's arrogant, it's egotistical, and awfully narcissistic if you think about it. And the psychopath behavior, well, it's worse than whatever Hitler would be. So, I don't mean this to be mean and cruel to you. I think it's something you really need to analyze and start looking at your religion. And I know that's a little hard for you because knowing you're under the gun of God who will send you to a personal torture chamber, well, I can understand your fear. But realize your fear is self-created and you've created that. So just for Old Fart and Cult of Dusty, I hope you do a spin on this because I would love to hear your point of view. Anyways, Christians, I like to see how you're going to deal with this. And I understand that most of you probably won't answer. Yeah, go ahead, regurgitate the scriptures. I'm sure that's all you get, but that's not going to get you out of the situation. Have a good day.